Thank you for watching Eastern Volleyball Network. My name is Graham Wren. I've got my usual co-host Kevin Knight here with me, coming to you live from Manhattan Beach. Dude, how's it going?
Bit of a late bum this week, parlaying baking foods and whatnot into places to stay. So it's been pretty cool so far. I don't even know whose house this is.
I was gonna say you're definitely on some bum Wi-Fi at the moment as you're kind of cutting in and out, but we'll do everything that we can to work through it and give you guys still an enjoyable viewing experience. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and go straight into the bracket. First match of the day, the 1 versus 32, Mike Grissel, David Vandermeer against David Smith and John Moran. My sources told me that John Moran and David Smith won in a thrilling 3-setter today to get through phase 1 of the qualifier into phase 2 of the qualifier. We got a couple of old crafty veterans, both with a plethora of main draw experience, which is beautiful to see. And I kind of like them in this match. I'm really tempted to pick them. They're going to play a lot of really smart ball. They're going to make the other team earn a lot of points. They're going to go out and do a lot of really good things on the court. Oh wait, but the guys they're playing just took a fifth in Atlanta, so I guess we got to go with them. But it would have been a lot of fun to pick Moran and Smith. But we will somewhat begrudgingly go with Grissel and Vandermeer 50% because we think they will probably hold on, and then the other 50% because we don't want to hear Big Mike having more stuff to tell us about it. So we'll go ahead and pick.
Sliding in those DMs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next match, we have Aaron Kuby and Ian Satterfield against Rick Cervantes and Jonah Seif. Everyone should know who Ian Satterfield is. Played a fair amount of AVP main draws partnering with the one and only Mark Burrick. I don't know who his friend is. I couldn't find Kuby on AVP America. Kevin, what do you know about the other two guys?
I know that Seif was playing with Hagen Smith back in 2018 or 19. Really big indoor setter, I think. Don't know much about Rick Cervantes except for he's a fast, crafty defender that's qualified before.
Okay. So I guess my question is, I think Ian Satterfield is definitely the most tested of the four, I would say. Having, kind of being consistently in the main draw, 2018, 2019. But, he's kind of playing with an unknown. I don't know if it's, a legitimate partnership that, we just don't know about, or if it's a friend that he's just coming out to play the Manhattan Beach Open with. So what do you want to do here? Do you want to go with Satterfield or do you want to go with the other guys?
I think we go with other guys.
Okay, we'll go with Cervantes. And how do you say Jonah's last name so I can stop butchering it?
Seif, I think.
Seif. Okay. All right. So the next match in this quadrant, we have the 9 seed versus the 24. Kurt Topple and Jake Urrutia against Kevin Knight and Nolan Albrecht.
Clearly, my opinion.
You're taking Kurt in 1. Is that what I heard?
We're gonna win the coin toss. We're gonna win the good side. When we switch on to the good side, it's still gonna be the good side.
Yeah,
and we're gonna win.
Okay.
Gotta bet on yourself, right?
Yeah, I respect that opinion. I think at the end of the day, I think I do need to go with Topple and Urrutia, though. I think.
How can you do this to me?
For our regular viewers, this is our regularly scheduled programming of Kevin's disbelief that anyone could pick anybody else to win a match. But I think the experience of Topple and Urrutia in deep Manhattan Beach sand, I think it will be a little bit much for Kevin and Nolan. Kevin and Nolan are two guys that really like to bomb jump serves. Hermosa Manhattan Beach Open sand isn't necessarily the most conducive to that style of play, and they'll definitely have to dig deep if they're going to make it a match.
That hurts.
Yeah, so I got to go with Topple and Urrutia.
I got to say you're wrong, but all right. We are a little underseeded in this.
All right, next at the 8 versus 25, We have Andrew Dentler and John Ferrari against Nathan Yang and Mikhail Butler. Dentler and Ferrari are probably pretty heavy favorites here. Most of you know who they are, both of them training out in California regularly. I believe Nathan Yang is out of the Colorado area, right?
Yes, one of Smithers' training partners.
Okay. Former partner of Big Mike Brissell, I believe.
True that.
Yeah. What about Mikhail Butler? You know this guy?
I don't. That's why I want to pick the other team, I think. Go with the known there.
That's fair. I think, unfortunately, for the first time in my life, I am not hashtag Yang Gang, and we're gonna go with Dentler and Ferrari.
Solid.
All right. For qualifier predictions, we stick within each kind of quadrant of the bracket. So next up, we have Grissel and Vandermeer against Cervantes and Seif. You think Cervantes and Seif can win this over Big Mike and Vandermeer?
I mean, I got to stick with the previous results. The battle tested Vandermeer and Grissel on this one. I like them a lot. I think it actually does go to 3 though. I think Cervantes and Seif could be pretty dangerous as like another really big blocker and quick defender.
Sure, absolutely. And I think they're, with their performance last week, I think a lot of teams are going to be looking at Grissel and Vandermeer's game and trying to figure out, how to attack that team. So it wouldn't shock me for them to see some different looks from teams that, maybe they haven't seen before and be tested in some new ways. Next, we have Kurt Toppel, Jake Rudia against Dentler and Ferrari.
Ferrari looked really good in Atlanta, and this would be Dentler's first qualifier of this year, but he's played in some other big events. Notable, I think he took a third in New Orleans, so I'm pretty high on Dentler Ferrari right now.
Yeah, definitely battled through some adversity. That at times felt like a slap in the face down in New Orleans.
He actually got slapped in the face.
Yeah, by an unruly fan who had a few too many drinks and was promptly escorted off the facilities. But I think I have to agree. I think I have to go with Dentler and Ferrari. Toppel has a fair amount of main draw experience as well, and probably the biggest blocker on the court. But I think of the defender matchups, I think Ferrari is a good bit more battle tested than Urrutia. I mean, Urrutia is a good player, but I like Ferrari in this matchup.
You coin toss in the last round, or you got a strong vibe either way?
I mean, I think it is kind of a toss up, but Dentler has East Coast roots, so we kind of got to go with Dentler, right?
Let's do it. Dentler it is.
Yeah, I think
we're picking against Big Mike again.
Yeah, exactly.
Worked out for him last time. We'll see if we get some messages from him again.
Yeah, so Big Mike, if you are listening to this, we're picking against you because we love you. Not necessarily because not because we necessarily think that. And Dentler, if you're listening to this, it's because we think you're going to win, so go get it. So
next pod.
Yeah, with that, we'll move on to the next pod. 5 versus 28. Jacob Landell, Lev Prima against Brian Wells and Steve Wells. You think we got to go with the favorites here?
I think we like Russian Lev here.
I agree. Both, they had a strong performance through the Atlanta qualifier, making the main draw. I can't remember. Did they win a match in the main draw or no?
I don't think so, but they looked really good the entire qualifier.
Got it. Okay. Now 12 versus 21. Garrett Roberts, Garrett Westberg against Christopher Austin and Cole Fears.
That's tough. All of them are Cali guys. Chris Austin's looked really good in some events and not so great in others. Cole Fears has qualified a couple times. So with Hagen Smith, I'm not sure. You got any vibes on this one?
No, I don't really have any vibes on this one. Quick aside, does you know what's going on with Earl Schultz? Notice his name's noticeably absent from this entry list.
And on the last one too, we don't know what's going on with him. So I know he just started.
He kind of broke up. He just started
A
something.
master's program at USC.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Don't know.
So let's go with let's go with Austin and Fierce.
That's good.
All right, 13 versus 20. Marshall Brock, Spencer Sauter against Brandon Joyner and Bryce Mayer. Good old Virginia Beach East Coast guy there, Brandon Joyner. What are you thinking here, Kev?
Did just third at these teams both played Seaside, huh?
Yeah, I believe so.
So you want to go with the Seaside result?
Yeah, I think that's a fair that's a fair tactic to take here. So for our viewers who didn't see Seaside, what would that be?
I want to say Sauter was in the semifinals, right? Against Logan and Evan.
Yes, that's correct. So we'll go ahead and go with Marshall Brock and Sauter. All right. 4 versus 29. Travis Mawerder, Adam Roberts against Kyle Stevenson and Tomas Salava.
Stevenson's been a long time player. I think Robertson the Mawerder got his number.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, Mawerder and Roberts are very well practiced together and don't give up a lot of easy points and really make you earn everything. And I think that's going to be enough to carry him through here.
Yep.
Next round, Jacob Lendell left Prima against Crispy Austin and Cole Fears. You think we got to stick with the AVP Atlanta trend and go with Lendell and Prima, or do you think that we can count on an upset here from Crispy Austin?
I love Lev and Jake's game. They've been qualifying since my first qualifier in like 2018 or 19. I like Lendell and Prima here.
Okay, sure. With that, Crispy Austin becomes Crispy Bacon. Next, we have Marshall Brock and Spencer Sauter against Travis Mawerder and Adam Roberts.
What are you thinking on this one?
I'm kind of thinking the experience of Adam Roberts goes a long way here.
He definitely knows Spencer's game because he played with Spencer once upon a time. So
right. That was kind of my thought too. I feel like
definitely somebody for me.
I'm gonna say if you go back to Casa de Roberts, I'm sure that there's a Spencer Sauter file hidden away, tucked away there somewhere. So I think for that reason we got to go with Adam Roberts. So now for the match to get in, Jacob Lendell, Lev Prima against Mawerder and Roberts.
It'll be a midday match where the wind has picked up a lot. Favors Lev's jumper. Do you think this is the one where Roberts?
I think this is the one where Roberts qualifies. I don't know, kind of like you mentioned, Prima's going back there and hitting a big jumper. I kind of want to go with Lendell and Prima here. I think that much wind does kind of put a bit of a damper on Adam's side out game that is so precision based. I think it makes it that much harder for him to side out. So I think we kind of want to go with Lendell and Prima. What do you think?
If you add anything to coin toss, I'd say coin toss it. Because or I can just take Travis and Adam.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I didn't have super strong thoughts on it, so we can go with this. Actually, this is the match to get in, so I guess we don't have to make the call.
Yeah, we'll split.
Yeah, I think it'll be Lendell and Prima, and Kevin thinks it'll be Mawerder and Roberts. So moving on to the third quadrant, the 3 seed, we have Kyle Friend, Brian Miller, versus Alexander Biz and Leor Schiefer. I don't know either of the 30 seed guys, so I think we just got to go chalk here, especially because say Kyle Friend looked really solid qualifying in Atlanta, and Brian Miller looked really strong in the qualifier as well. I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Brian knocked you out of Atlanta, right?
Yeah, he did. He got like 19 blocks on us too.
Oof. So next at the 14-19, we have Rafi Paulus and Aaron Rice against Alex Diaz and Brett Griner. And before we get into this match, can I just say it's good to see Rafi Paulus and Aaron Rice on the AVP tour?
Why is that?
Well, they didn't quite make it to Atlanta. I'm not sure what the story was there, but it seemed like it was a last second drop. So whether it was a missed flight or whether something came up, I don't entirely know, but it's good to see him back out there. You think that they'll get the win over the Florida boys, Alex Diaz and Brett Griner?
I got nothing on this one. Because I haven't seen Rafi or Stretch play together, but if they're playing well together, I'd take them.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. We'll take Paulus and Rice. I think playing in the deep Hermosa sand versus the hard packed Clearwater beaches is a significant adjustment to make. Next, we'll take the 11 versus 22, Mike Bogue, Tim Brewster against Ray Beercher and Dylan Cox.
Ooh, Beercher and Cox is a team I like, both from Chicago. And the 11-22 match last time was Lehman Queckel upset, I think, Dace Palm. So we could go superstition and say 11 or 22 is always beating 11. Or we could use our head and say that Bogue and Brewster have been playing really well together. Strong showings.
Yeah, I mean, Bogue and Brewster have been playing.
Not the showing in Atlanta. Yeah, what are your thoughts here? Beercher and Cox probably are more physical.
I mean, yeah, they're probably more physical, but I also think like if you go back to the 2019 season, so like Chicago, Beercher and Cox took a 33rd. They took a 33rd in Hermosa. Dylan took a 29th at Seattle, a 45th with Beercher, a 29th with Beercher. So it's kind of a lot of finishes in that range. So I kind of want to go with Bogue and Brewster.
All right. That's reasonable, rational.
Plus, if we didn't pick good Kevin to win, we can't pick evil Kevin to win.
Keep cranking.
Next at the 6 versus 27, we have Avery Drost and Grant O'Gorman against Michael Cavateo and Cole Aidnick. It's a rough draw for those guys.
Yeah, I think we go with the Canadian.
Yeah. For any of our viewers who are, potentially under a rock, Grant O'Gorman plays on Canada, on the FIVB tour for Canada. In the larger, four-star main draws. Just making his way on the AVP tour. Next we got Kyle Friend, Brian Miller against Rafi Paulus and Aaron Rice.
I think we go Friend Miller on this one. I really like that team. That's a strong candidate to get in for me.
I agree. I think we picked this matchup based off of each team showing in Atlanta. So we'll go with Friend and Miller. All right. Next match, Mike Bogue, Tim Brewster against Avery Drost and Grant O'Gorman.
Bogue and Brewster had a rough time in Atlanta. Beat in DR. I think Avery and Grant is an even tougher draw than that. So I think I got to go with Avery and Grant.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Avery showed that in Atlanta, it doesn't matter what draw you give him, he's going to find a way to get through. And he, frankly, probably upgraded partners this time. And he has an easier draw, I would
So
say. So it's hard to pick against Avery.
then you're gonna. I was gonna say then you're gonna roll through them on the last one too.
Yeah, I am. I think I would be highly, highly tempted to pick Friend and Miller to come out of either of the other brackets, but I just can't pick them over Drost and Grant.
Yeah, and Avery's playing really good ball, so I think it's solid.
Yeah.
Let's get through this last pod. Got some cookies to bake.
Speaking of Cook, Cian Cook and David Lee against Clark Porter Jr. and Charlie Porter, 7 versus 26.
I think we got to go with. I think he might be Scottish, Sean Cook, and
it is Sean. It's not whatever the fuck I said. It is Sean.
Yep.
Okay. Good job, me. Good team. Sorry about that, Sean. Sean Cook, David Lee, gonna go ahead and roll through what I think are probably siblings here.
Yep.
Next, a really interesting one for me. We have the 10 seed Kyle Ratty and Jeff Samuels against John Schwengel and Devin Berkey. I'll kind of give you my take here, and then you can weigh in if you want. Jeff has been playing a fair amount of kind of our mid-Atlantic events. I've never really seen him play defense, so I'll definitely be tuning into Jeff's live stream if he's going to play. I want to see how he does there. But kind of being unfamiliar with Jeff's defense is giving me a little bit of pause, particularly running into such a strong 23 seed, with a couple of young players that are very highly regarded out from California. You've got John Schwengel, who's pretty highly regarded as a very, very solid young up and comer, and then Devin Berkey, kind of this large physical blocker that has kind of exploded onto the California scene in the past couple of years. So I kind of want to go with Schwengel and Berkey, as much as I would love to pick Jeff.
I got to train against Jeff and Ratty, and they looked really good. I don't know. I think I'm going to kind of leave this one up to you. I really liked the physicality that Ratty and Jeff brought inside out. I haven't really seen much of Schwengel and Berkey, but if you have, I'll leave this pick up to you.
Yeah, I've watched probably 4 or 5 of Berkey's matches on YouTube. I think I am going to go with I do think this matchup is a toss-up, and if a matchup's a toss-up and we have a chance to pick a big upset, we're going to pick the big upset. So we got to go with Schwengel and Berkey.
All right.
I would not be surprised at all if Ratty and Samuels, make me eat my words here, but we're going to go ahead and go with Schwengel and Berkey.
Ambiance here is getting nicer and nicer.
Yeah. As I try to, cushion the potential body blows coming from Jeff Samuels my way at the end of that pick there. Well, next we have the 15 versus the 18, Robbie Page, Hagen Smith against Jake Dietrich and Marcus Portain.
I think a 7'1" block is too much for Marcus at this point. But Marcus, I'm really happy to see him back out there, and super nice guy, as is his brother. So I hate to pick against him, but Hagen and Robbie are really hot right now.
Yeah, I have to agree. Next, we have the 2 versus 31, Chase Frischman, Ryan Meehan against Alessio Signorini and Kyle Skinner.
I got nothing on the other two, so I'm going with the 2 seed.
Yeah, I agree. Hard to bet against. Hard to bet against Chase Frischman.
Couple more matches to go.
Looking at Ryan Meehan, looks like he took a 17th at Seaside playing with Miles Makatutia, 17th in a kind of a AVP America at the Manhattan Beach Pier. Took a 17th in Chicago with Christian Honer, 49th in Manhattan Beach with Christian Honer. So I guess he was playing a fair amount with Christian. That 17th at Chicago kind of looks like his best finish, I would say.
Gotcha.
Next, we've got Sean Cook, David Lee against John Schwangle and Devin Berkey.
I like Cook and Lee here. Cook is a physical defender, and Lee's freaking David Lee. So, but you could maybe say ball control might be the issue with Lee and Cook.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly possible, but I think I don't think I'm ready to pick against David Lee.
I'm with you.
Next, Robbie Page, Hagen Smith against Chase Frischman and Ryan Meehan.
I think that's an easy upset pick based on Meehan. I mean, Frischman is Frischman, so he's always going to be tough. But again, Page and Hagen are looking really.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got to pick.
Love to see more YouTubers.
Yeah, I've got to pick Page and Smith, but at the same time, I think everyone is seeing a few AVP matches where Frischman was able to take over with defense, so that's certainly a possibility. But I think we got to go with Page and Hagen, and kind of respect that Hagen's playing pretty good defense in his own right. He's got a 7'1" blocker against a guy that we've kind of looked at and kind of described as perhaps a little inexperienced. Is now match to get in. Sean Cook, David Lee against Robbie Page and Hagen Smith.
I think this is where Smith and Page finally put it together. I think this is where they finally do it.
I thought we were going to split, but I'm thinking the exact same thing too. And I think part of that is, kind of with the wishful thinking in me wanting to see one, kind of Hagen come back strong from his injury, as well as, wanting to see Robbie, come back and get back to the main draw after his hiatus. So I'm ready to roll with Robbie and Hagen here. I mean, I think kind of going into the qualifier last time in Atlanta before we saw the bracket, I was getting ready to roll with Robbie and Hagen, and then we saw the bracket and I was like, maybe next time. So I think next time is here. I think it's time to roll with him.
Next time has come. So who are?
All right. So our four guys, we have Dentler and Ferrari. We split over Landell and Prima versus Mawerder and Roberts, Avery Drost and Grant O'Gorman, and then Robbie Page and Hagen Smith.
All right. I think that sums it up perfectly. Appreciate you doing this with me. It's now gotten dark and cold.
Yeah. Well, it's past 11 here and I got to get to bed. Got to get to work in the morning. All right. Thank you for watching Eastern Volleyball Network. If you like what we do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. Big milestone moment for us. We actually hit 1,000 subscribers this past week.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, for a lot of you who might be watching this, that probably doesn't mean that much. For us in our local events, that means that we can now live stream videos on YouTube rather than recording and uploading later, which is kind of a big step for us on kind of where we see this channel going. So it was a big moment for us. I guess on that note, go ahead and sign off and see you at the next one.
Sounds good, man. Thanks to everybody who liked and everybody who shared. That means to us.
Yeah. Good luck tomorrow, dude. Have a good night.
Thanks. Peace.